top and mid. Both of them can play it very well. It's also fine into Orianna. It struggles a bit in the early game, but will pick up some pace later in the game. So let's see if Verdant actually want to go for this dive comp with the Nocturne, or if they maybe just want to play something like the Poppy into Jarvan and play that game. I think that would honestly be a better option for them.
I'm a big Poppy fan, especially into the Jarvan. I think Xin Zhao is also potentially really good in general as a generalist champion, but it is going to be the Poppy locking in.
But I think this is
really
a
hard for
flex.
Jarvan to play this game.
Because Tade played this Poppy constantly during a regular split, so it might be a flex not only between the jungle but the support.
It also disincentivizes Alistar, right? So if you want to pick Alistar, you just send the Poppy down in bot lane, and it's a miserable matchup.
Yeah.
Which makes the Alistar blind a little bit more rough. Blind being Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, he likes this champ, right?
Yeah.
I think in
BAUS
general, when you're playing, he does hate it as well. It's a strong early game champ. I think that's a pretty good strat in general for Verdant, picking scaling on bot side and having top be kind of the strong point in early game, so the SLT can hold his own against BAUS. I'm interested to see now what LR will go for, because they have kind of mixed now,
Usually it's VOLIBEAR to match into the Renekton. And that's usually BAUS's go-to answer, but he has a really miserable time in this lane pretty often. We'll see if he locks it in or he drops. I'm worried if he drops to 4-5. Oh my goodness, he plays Quinn, doesn't he?
Calm down.
I got hyped.
Yeah, he got debated.
Yeah, there's the VOLIBEAR. He clearly plays the classic Dark Seal into Doran's Ring. Just a strong early game champion. And honestly, the side lane is super, super unplayable for Renekton, especially as it goes on.
So where do we go from now? I know Akali is now looking into these notes in terms of priority for LR. Do you take a hit on Verdant's bot side, or what do you do? Because you still don't know if this Poppy is going to be bot or jungle.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I would expect LR to drop Reckless's champ until R5, drop it last and see what they want to do with this Poppy, right? As you said, they can keep Poppy jungle and go for something like Alistar, but then I'm sure Reckless will be fine playing Braum into it, so I think they will just wait with support LR and pick AD Carry 4. I think with the Jarvan themselves, they have a lot of options. If they want to go for a scaling comp with, for example, the Zeri Lulu, I think they can easily do that. So I would expect them to go for either Braum or a ranged matchup on bot here for LR, because the Poppy, as you said, is very annoying for these melee support to play into. So I doubt that Reckless will pick something like the Nautilus or the Alistar into it.
So for the Verdant, I believe they're also going for the scaling in terms of AD carry. I see the Severe being removed. I don't know what else they're going to take away from Crowny. That could be it.
Yeah, I think in general, Crowny is looking for an immobile AD carry on 4. I think something like the Zeri or perhaps the Jinx. Something that can front to back very easily, because he has a lot of beefy boys in front of him now, right? He has the Jarvan, the Galio, and the VOLIBEAR. And Reckless on Enchanter would be really, really OP here.
What do you think about Kai'Sa with some kind of Nico? Because Corki's gone, you know, some of these early game lane bullies are gone.
Yeah.
With the dive that they have, do you think that's potentially?
Yeah, I could see that as well. I'm not sure if they really want to commit to a dive comp into the Poppy and Renekton, though. True, I think there's a lot of anti-dive that Verdant has already, so I feel like in general, something like the Jinx that the LR locked now on 4, I think it makes more sense.
And I think the big thing here is there's not much backline access from Verdant here, right? They're just running at the Jinx, trying to dive backline. It's not like they have the Jarvan. So any kind of support now on 5. We'll see where the Poppy goes. I imagine you're just going to send it jungle. I think you just send it jungle. It's super easy. And we'll see exactly how you want to round it out. What do you like into Jinx the most? Smolder?
Something scaling is good, yeah. I think Smolder is not the greatest, to be honest. I'm very happy as Jinx this game as well. But obviously Smolder into triple melee, a lot of targets to hit with the Q, and when you get the execute threshold, a lot of damage as well. So this is just Janna from Reckless, isn't it? It screams Janna to me.
Like they've got loads of face check already. They don't need a melee support necessarily. Loads and loads of beefy boys.
Come on, do it.
Are we going to see the Reckless Janna?
Lock in the Janna. Braum is also fine.
But it makes sense. You talked about it. If you pick Alistar, he takes the Braum. That was the idea. Okay, we got the champion select. We're looking into jumping into game 2 as soon as possible. Chat, you can vote on who do you think is going to win.
Want to see the structure.
Well, here we are, onto the Rift for game number 2. Instantly into the action. We're going to see Nemesis jump onto Torre, try and chase him down. The heel comes out there. They are going to continue to chase forward. They've got the concussive blows, but not going to make the connection. Torre is going to make his way away to safety.
4 stacks for Smolder.
I was about to say, the next thing I was going to bring up is this Smolder, because for anyone who's kept up with the Smolder track record here in the NLC, it tends to not win. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on this Verdant bot lane. Yeah, kind of like Junara in EU. My major concern typically is that when we see Verdant here in the NLC, teams just scrap and fight to the death before the Smolder is at the breakpoints it wants to be at. Typically, of course, 2-2-5, but even 1-2-5, right? Where you start to be able to really get stacks under your belt even faster. So I'm looking at Verdant, and I'm specifically looking at the top side of the map for them to make plays happen there. and not necessarily around the smolder first.
I'm glad we're looking at topside, because once again, SLT's picked something that's going to brawl versus BAUS early, needs to take over early. Last game, he got ahead on the Ambessa, and he made nothing of it. They put all this gold and all this attention into him and BAUS, and it ultimately resulted in nothing.
Yeah, we'll see how that 1v1 ends up playing out, but I really want to pull your attention towards the bottom side jungle of Verdant, because Velia snuck in, taken the Raptors, he's on the red buff. There haven't been pings. There is a ward on the red from
There's a ping now.
and they pinged it now, so they know that this has happened, but I wonder if this information has been received a little bit too late. Velia has a couple of different options. He's pathing around potentially what he thinks are wards, and he's going to make his way back to his own jungle. We'll see how Danka responds, because that is going to be the big thing.
What is going on top lane? Hold on.
BAUS's proxy.
That's his bounce. Okay, so
I can see him chasing. I thought they were fighting, but it's just the BAUS proxy. There it is.
I really like the Raptor start as well from
Danka's going to
Doran.
get first blood, presumably.
Yeah, I mean, that's a freebie for him as BAUS. Nowhere to go, hammer down, wallbang comes in, BAUS gets the shield off. Actually, this might get a bit dicey. Throws up the buckler for another shield, but SLT flashes in. First blood to Verdant.
Well, I'm not going to say the word yet, but it starts with G, and technically it's 2 words, and ends in H. SLT did miss a fair few minions, so you can see BAUS is actually up in XP. But again, crucially, Velia, he gets all of this free time. He farms an additional quadrant. Danka is now going to be kind of homeless, right? He's got Krugs on the bottom side, and maybe Skull at most.
I really like that Velia also started with the Raptors, because now he has the timer. It spawns
Yep.
really quickly, so he's going to be able to use Nemesis to actually invade, or even Reckless from the bottom of the map, right? So these 2 camps have been marked from Velia. He's further ahead. He's gotten 3 quadrants of the jungle to himself as Jarvan. And most importantly, he stops the wraparound from Poppy since his bot lane is pushing. So now Crowny and Reckless are going to spot Danka, but he's non-threatening.
Nothing he can do about that one. He's just going to get grab himself the crab. But BAUS? I think BAUS might be looking for a stare down. No proxy happening here. SLT had to drop
I dare
minions
you
though.
walk out. I dare you walk out.
SLT dropped minions, and I mean, it's a relatively big CS difference.
Not 3
The
classes.
gold is being made up by that kill, but as you can see, Velia's now here. SLT, remember, flashed for that first blood.
He's
Now he
doubled
has no
his
dash.
CS.
Yeah.
And the wave hasn't even been fully pushed in.
It's not a great look.
Okay, have I ever talked to you about our Lord and Savior VOLIBEAR? He's one of my favorite champions when it comes to 1 versus 1, like pure 1 versus 1. This is the AP version that's not as strong in the early, but still the combo of VOLIBEAR is curated around 1 versus 1s. That's what he really shines at. And because BAUS plays...
Oh, hello. Nemesis? Okay, thought he was going in. I really thought he was going in.
A little bit too excited,
Oh.
Jake. BAUS?
BAUS is getting hunted at Danka. He's got the wall bang. Under the tower you go. BAUS flashes away. Danka
Neither of them
should
have-
be able to finish this kill up.
Passive, passive.
He's got the buckler
Passive?
coming in a second. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, hammer. Just hammer.
Yep.
That should be Dragon, though, on the bottom side. You can see Velia's moving down, and he's got priority from bot. Nemesis, not quite level 6 yet, but again, does have first move down to this bottom side.
Oh,
Flash
Torre.
forward from Torre.
Nice knockback onto Crowny. Crowny doesn't take any tower shots though, but gets hit up by the stun. Devin starts to go a little low himself
Nemesis.
in response, but like you said, Nemesis is in the area. Verdant, it's okay. They commit the flash, but it's a hex flash, so it's fine.
It was almost perfectly timed, but there was one melee creep that just creeped ahead of Crowny, so he doesn't end up tanking the damage. And all in all, it's a clean sequence from LR.
Alrighty, well, Zenkux, he's constantly got Nemesis shoved under, so what you want from this Galio is to kind of get lane pressure, or at least be equal in lane, so you can rotate out, look for those ults into plays. You got the Jarvan, you got the Galio, you have such a powerful little combo between the ultimates there. And so far, Nemesis has been heavily shoved in by Zenkux. I'm not overly surprised that's what Oriana does.
Yep.
But it has been a bit of a pain point here on the mid side. Zenkux constantly having pressure.
I mean, he's the team player now, Nemesis.
Yeah.
He's only there to pretty much facilitate Jarvan's engages and just dump himself on top or save Jinx from very sneaky situations that are happening right now. Now, what I'm really worried about is that Torre had an incredible Alistar performance last time these 2 teams met in that best of 1. it was pretty much a wow performance with the spellbook. He's got the TP right now as well. So I'm looking to see him finding angles, finding targets that are vulnerable, but there aren't many of those targets. So I feel like even though people would look at Crownie to be the target, I feel like majority of the target will be Velia in those fights. There is squishy target, dives too heavily in, maybe you pinpoint the Java and you can just take him down really quickly.
Well, we've seen the lane swaps coming out towards the Rift Herald, Grubs, thank you.
Rift Grubs.
Wait, Rift Grubs. The Rift Grubs spawning. We do see that both the mid laners have gone for resets. It's Vrog. It is. No, it's not. It's Grubs. But a later swap this time than we saw in the last game. So I do feel like we're actually going to see more action around there, especially with these level 6s being hit on LR. They've unlocked a lot of that power. Obviously, Devon trying to race towards that level 6. He's incredibly close, actually, so he probably will have Mum in time. As Nemesis, he rotates, he reset earlier, so he's back into the map quicker, but Senkux is going to get a shove and then a rotate over.
I just feel like the counter dive at this point in the game is so potent from Verdant that it's quite difficult, but Velia's stuck around a little too long. He's got Galio off.
Mum's been called in, but the Galio's making his way forward. Velia finds the connection onto Torre. Torre's going to go down as Velia secures the kill. In comes the taunt. Danka flashes away. They have the ball already for Senkux, but the pressure has been bought for LR.
That is a spellbook level 5 Alistar. The second you're caught, you don't have extra defenses, you don't have your ultimate, you don't have defenses for runes, right? So you end up going down really quickly, and also Nemesis being around made this so much easier for them, and now Nemesis still being around gives numbers advantage on the top side.
Well, the spellbook pays off because Torre's back into the action. Senkux waiting for the shockwave onto the key targets. Grubs get smited, that's going to be a steal. In jumps Torre, finding the knockup. Taunt goes a little bit wide, only connects onto one. Senkux whiffs the ultimate, doesn't make the connection. Torre is finished up on the backline. Devon jumps forwards, but Crownie is stacking up. Double kill onto the Poppy. Crownie, he's excited and he is out of there.
Things going wrong for both sides there from Verdant and LR. For Velia, the Grub ended up part resetting, and Senkux ran out of mana. The Shockwave only connects onto the Galio in an attempt, I think, to just prevent him from moving forward. We'll see now as he wants this reset.
But again, we mentioned it earlier. Usually your target would be the squishy carry, but that Jarvan is so squishy, so the second he gets CC, that's it, and then Senkux flips only Nemesis.
Torre just barely walked outside of the tether range, so the Shockwave comes back onto him. And at this point, without any mana, even though Crownie's effectively melee range, they don't have any more damage to kill him, and he walks out with the excited.
But Velia always hits twice. So he came back, got the point grab, got out, fits a strength tick, +1.
Devon up to 58 stacks now, so still a way to go. 125 is the next major spike here for that Smolder.
But not really.
But not really. It's a micro spike. The big one's 225, but...
I feel like it's, okay, I feel like it's kind of when you're on a diet and I'm gonna hold the diet thing, I'm going back to it. When you're like, okay, I wanna lose 10 kilograms, but I'm gonna treat myself on the 5 to get to the 10. I think this is the small bit. It's like, I'm gonna get something little at 125, but it's not really where I wanna be.
You get like a buttered croissant or something.
Yeah. Sure. Pizza for dinner.
Pizza for dinner. He's way off though, but eventually, you know, the scaling is there for Verdant, and you know, while we talked about how in the regular season, well, sorry, the playoffs this split, they've actually been a lot more fast tempo. I always think as Verdant as a late game scaling team. And I feel they drafted very well for that. You've got the Orianna, you've got the Smolder. You do have a Renekton for a bit of an earlier spike though.
That they do. And whilst he's into the Galio, I think there are a couple of options here for Verdant though. I believe the one they're going to go for is overloading or just playing around the bot side. I think attacking globals is always a very valuable option to utilize, but with the Dragon up, it seems like they want to prioritize this objective.
I like SLT so much more into Nemesis because he has the chance to stop the ult from going down. And I feel like Nemesis ult right here in those big team fights early on is so impactful.
Not only that, but it also gives Devon the opportunity to just kind of farm off BAUS, right? Like, it's very difficult to get on top of this Smolder without committing multiple tools.
Velia throws up the ultimate. Devon chasing over. They're going to get the slow onto Crownie. Teleport's coming in, but that's already one dead Poppy. Devon calls in Mum, but he's surrounded by 4. Flashes over the wall, but he hits nothing. The shockwave comes in. It's a double kill for Crownie. Torre jumps onto the back, and SLT is going to pin him in place. In jumps the Galio. Find a knock up onto 2. Torre limping away from the fight. Zenkux cut off from the rest of his team, but LR's health bars are blinking. Can Verdant find a little bit of extra damage? Torre gets jumped onto by Velia, but SLT jumping forwards with a potential flank. Everyone's cooling off and backing away.
Nah, I think Danka's gonna look for Velia right here. He's sprinting through the lane, but Torre's dead.
Oh!
Chaos and disaster. Junglers lock eyes at each other and they just go at it. But Velia has the backhand.
It's just a very strange pathing decision from Torre for me, because then Devin also ends up in isolation because LR just makes a quick and decisive call to turn, and I feel a little bit like upset for Crowny in this situation because even though he's got so many members around him, Verdant has been able to collapse very quickly. SLT flashes away from the knockup, otherwise I think he would have got chain CC'd on and died, and Torre in the extended ends up being taken down by Velia, who looks, he's on the hunt, he's on the beef diet.
I was about to hit you with something serious, but that was really good, man. I will say, however, this looked very grim from the side of Verdant, and they still look like they did a lot of damage over to LR.
Yeah.
So on a full-blown front-to-back fight, it's going to look that much more.
Two important things. Dragon's still up, and you're so right. The fact that on this draw from LR, so much of the damage is going to be front-loaded onto Crowny. If they kill him in the situation like how they did, you can see if Devin was actually able to hit people, it would be a pretty good setup. Now LR, it looks like they're going to get this Dragon relatively uncontested, and SLT will trade some plates on the top side.
It's going to be a trade-off. Nothing really major gain there. SLT on the Renekton. Once again, he's 3-0, but what is he actually doing with it? Nothing. Sadly, as Devin slowly just trying to stack up more and more. BAUS jumping into SLT.
Man.
He almost killed him.
Man, I said he's going to be so tacky with Cosmic Drive.
Rocket!
Whoa! Missed that one.
Am I so dumb? Of course it's a rocket belt. Like,
Wait, BAUS is about to get ulti.
He's about to, but I think he's going to call it off. They don't really see Torre, and
Cosmic Drive.
they can kind of guesstimate that Danko was likely up there. But again, I mean, the important thing to really note is with LR getting that Dragon, it's the second of the game, and that does put Verdant under a certain level of pressure. They want this game to go on until Devin at the very least has 2-2-5 stacks.
Yeah, that's the main goal here. He's got the Essence Reaver, so he can be able to farm them more efficiently. Mana will no longer be an issue, but I think it's just, honestly, for Verdant, it's just stem the bleeding for now.
I'm just getting really worried if this goes late game, because this Javan is just going to act like a Lee Sin into the late game, right? He's just going to throw himself in the back line. Then BAUS has been getting fantastic flanks in a lot of these fights, and he's going to be an invincible bear. So there's a lot of disruption on the front to back for Verdant, and I feel like LR are really happy about that.
Is BAUS in trouble? That's the question.
I feel like they're actually potentially looking to commit. Danka's here. Has himself the jump on. Just give me the ult out from BAUS, and just going to call it.
Good disengage. That's it. Mid-game.
Devin, he's got the barrier, but he's going down. Crowley takes him out.
Great pick. Not much to say. Let's get a replay. Devin ends up being chunked out here. Rekkles jumps forward. It's a great cue, and that's how the connection happens. Devin with no flash from that earlier engage. And LR make quick work with the Verdant AD carry.
And more importantly, does blow the flash previously, does blow the barrier now. So you can't really play too aggro. They actually have to babysit this Dragon until he gets to that 2-2-5. First spike already reached 134 stacks is really good, but now it's going to be getting a little bit more scary. Because LR, without 1,000 gold lead that they have, 1.5k on Crowny, again, they're not going to stop contesting objectives.
They won't. And they're still here in front of the Herald right now. They want to start it up, but they are looking for a reason potentially to start a fight first.
I think Verdant to give. Like we said, the barrier, the flash is down. It's just not really doable. They need to get the stacks. They need to kind of play for that Smolder power spike. Although he is posturing to potentially come in. Crowny, 4-1 on the Jinx, though. He is massively far ahead.
I just feel like for both teams, it's very difficult to engage. Zenkux is taking a really nasty trade.
Nemesis almost able to find the kill onto him. Danka's jumping forwards. The rocket comes down, doesn't quite hit. Nemesis isn't going to be able to get himself, or gets himself away to safety. Velia jumps forwards. Danka dodges out. Verdant, they want nothing to do with this.
The thing that I'm really noticing is that both teams are so apprehensive because whilst they have very strong engage tools, all of their engage tools are actually quite good disengage tools and turn tools. So you can understand the apprehension. I think, though, for Verdant, they don't mind. As long as Devon's getting stacks. Losing this Herald, the big problem is Dragon spawns in 90 seconds, and that's now a tool for LR to use when that's out.
I'm scratching my head as into how did Nemesis get such a huge chunk off of Suncox?
I can tell you.
Force dunk up front. It's the rocket.
It's the rocket, but it always,
it
always catches people off guard. It's just rocket belt into EU close so much distance.
But taking Suncox so low forced Verdant off of the objective, which is a good thing. We wanted to see structure. If you can't force the objective, back off the objective. So that's a good point. However, again, LR, with however much lead they have onto Crowny, 2 items completed, Runans in the bag as well. I'm going to ask production to bring up the graphic from Crowny because I feel like he has been a pillar for LR in general, and he has been such a pivotal piece that if he gets ahead, it's really hard to beat LR, man.
Game 1, absolutely monstrous on the Xayah. Game 2, it's a very similar thing here. Like you said, 4-1, 2 items already in his back pocket, and I feel like LR are going to be very, very happy to just contest this third Dragon, and it makes me wonder what Verdant are going to be able to do, right? No one seems close to a second item. That tower is on 42
not even close.
HP. And that's a big deal, because that would have at the very least been feats for Verdant, but now they're not going to get that, and this Herald is certainly going to secure mid-tier 1.
Yeah, there's nothing but Verdant going to be able to do about that. There's the Herald charge. That's the pain of not being able to play for that Herald earlier. Down to Devon getting caught.
Now, of course, the mid lane tower gone. That means that LR can walk the ramp, which gives them a lot more vision to bleed into enemy territory now that the Dragon has spawned. And that is the next objective to secure soul points.
But now look at SLT, because he's going to have an opportunity to push in this wave on the bottom side. Engage looked okay for a second, but that's a good steadfast presence. And now the TP is actually being matched by BAUS towards his bottom side.
This is why you picked that pop. Even there is the Cataclysm landing onto 2. Devon's able to flash away. Verdant just about make their way out of that play.
I think it just flew out. Oh my god.
Oh, he flew out, yeah.
So flash barrier still up. Verdant are very much likely looking to contest the HP bars, though too low on their 2 main engages.
That's the main problem. Their front line is so denied right now on the health bar front. SLT's doing his best to make sure they get out and reset, but that could just be the sole point over to the side of LR.
It's a health difference. Plain and simple, third Dragon will go to LR.
Is it just a health difference, Jamada? For now.
I'm going to just say yes.
All right.
5 minutes. That's how long Verdant have to formulate a plan. Potentially shorter with Atakan spawning up.
2 very important things. They need second items on their 2 carries. Orianna, Smolder, 2 items for sure for the next Dragon. Second thing, 2-2-5 on Smolder. Very, very, very important to have him locked in. You've got that small execute as well. So Devon has to be prioritized. He has to be babysat around waves. You have to give this guy waves. You have to get him to 2-2-5, get him his second item. And I think this is where Verdant might be looking to fight back.
He should have it in about 3 minutes' time.
That's enough.
I feel like in 3 minutes' time, Crowny will have most, if not all, of his Infinity Edge as well, though.
It's a possibility.
That's the problem. It'll be a 2-item, yes, on the dream stacks there for Smolder, but Crowny also on a major power spike. 3-item Jinx is nasty, and Crowny has been absolutely carrying the hell out of this series. He's been playing so well.
Verdant have to find their way onto it. That's going to be the problem for the remainder of this game. Unless BAUS or Velia step up afterwards. If they can find their way onto this Jinx, it's possible. But now they're finding their way onto Torre LR.
Glacial Fisher made his connection. Danker can't actually find a window over the wall. They're just going to back off. They get a nice chunk out of the cow, but it's all about that Atakan, like you said.
That's a spellbook, Alistar. Without his ultimate, he's so squishy. And he has been primary engaged for Verdant, which means that Verdant have to FF yet another neutral objective, or they could be running the risk of losing the entire game on 1 fight.
They want to play on Senkox, but they might just find one onto Danker instead.
Cataclysm comes in. Danker dodging away on the zap there. Cataclysm fades. They put the orb out.
They can't even walk into their own jungle.
It's so rough for them. It's so rough for them.
They just need to play on mid-wave and let Devon get his stacks, man.
He's close.
It's frustrating, and I mean, LR realize this is why they're doing this.
Like you said, he's too weak. He's too squishy. BAUS jumps in forward to the Stormbringer.
Just drop Herald. Just drop Herald. Torre doesn't have ult. saw it. He walked in, he got CC'd once and just died. Drop, Herald, let this guy in the mid lane take down the tower, get 2-5 stacks, grab his second item, drop attack, and
I don't think
then
they're
he can
done.
play for Soul.
They're going to have to try to contest. If they lose this, the game's practically over.
They have no shockwave available onto him. The hammer goes down. It's only going to send one pack in as that's going to be the lockdown. Danker is picked up. Taunt lands onto Senkox. He's going to be okay. Mum gets called in. Not enough to secure the kill. And LR, they're just running away with it in game number 2.
It just feels like Verdant are getting dizzy in this sequence here. And LR are happy to catch all of the drops that are landing in their lap right now. Aircon secured, 2 minutes until Ocean Soul. Devon, my expectation is he will have 2-5 by the time Ocean Soul is
And
up.
his second item.
And his second item, but he should have had it for the Aircon just then.
It looked better 3 minutes ago because now this Jinx has 5 kills.
Yep.
It's 2.6k up. And I think if you look here, I'm looking at this Jinx taking camps away from Velia. I feel like the second he presses B, that's an Infinity Edge in the inventory.
This is what we're saying. 3-item Jinx is going to be real dicey around this next fight.
Okay,
You've got the
he didn't take
Hurricane.
his camp, he took his buff.
Okay, that's fine. That's
he
fine.
shared it, he shared it. Yeah.
But, you know, he's going to have the IE, he's going to have the 3 items. The Hurricane hitting lots of people, those AoE rockets. This Dragon, I don't know if Verdant have a foot to stand on here. He's doing it. Good, they won the IE. It makes sense, right? They just want to hit that power spike. Oh, Danker gets a nice interrupt onto Nemesis. Beautiful little pick.
That's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
That was greedy.
Crowley's farming camps bot side, man. Like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing up here. But Verdant are happy to take that little bit of gold in their back pocket for the time being. But again, so many of the kills lie inside of this Poppy and inside of this Renekton. When you look at the opposite side, Infinity just got finished for Crowley.
There it is. I think this Dragon might decide the game.
The Smolder or?
Oh, no, not that one. That one's not even on 2-2-5 yet. He's on 2-2-4.
2-2-4.
All
He
right.
might decide the game later.
I kind of want to stick on him until he gets it, and I want to hear the arena cheer when we see this 2-2-5.
Let's look at Smolder, guys.
All right, Sweden.
If you think you're going to get this arena to cheer for Verdant, I think you
they are.
might be a little...
There's a bit of a cheer. A little
There you
bit.
go, he got it.
All right,
They
Sweden,
cheer.
I see you.
They want to see an even game. Okay?
Do they?
Probably
I'm not going to do it
not,
yet.
Probably not. Probably not. We want to see an even game.
We do.
Let's see if we're going to get one because a lot have already started the dragon.
I don't even know if they're even interested in contesting. They're looking for BAUS in the mid lane. He's just buying time.
Soul
But Verdant,
Soul.
it's too late. They're too weak. They can't contest. They know the Jinx is on 3 items. They're just going to back off. But Velia lining up a potential Cataclysm. BAUS is also coming in on the flank. That's going to be the zap from Crowley into the rocket. Hammer goes down. It goes so wide. Mum's being called in. Devon on 2-2-5. Can't even finish up. BAUS, there's the shutdown. But Crowley in the meanwhile shooting into Torre.
Devon.
But Devon is launching him forward. Crowley's damage is too damn high. Devon finds the shutdown.
He steps up, almost takes down Reckless, gets BAUS, and Danker's in trouble!
Danker, beautiful pick onto him. Nemesis jumps in forward. They're looking for the blinking health bars onto Verdant. The taunt! Nemesis! What a dive!
Nemesis steps forward and finds those two happily. Velia ends up getting the kill credit on him, and Baron is on the map. Even with Crowley dead, with that many Verdant members dead, that should be Baron.
Let's watch this one more time. BAUS finds his angle in the backline, forces the flash off of Senkox. This Orianna can't step up, then flashes forward, but that's a little too much. Tries to get alive with the Guardian coming through from Reckless, but Devon steps up.
In
and now he
live.
almost gets to execute Torre.
Torre was trying to find the
Yes,
steal.
right.
He was trying to find the steal. Taxi's out with the minions, but he stopped the Baron for now.
Exactly.
It's a cow chase.
It is a cow chase. The important thing is the Baron hasn't gone down, but if Torre dies, surely
done.
LR just
Danker's
walks straight
coming
back
in.
to the Baron, but now...
Danker's coming in, he's going to look for it, SLT's in, but Torre, he's not gone down, he's held his life, but Crowley joins into the fray. Nemesis jumping forward, the shockwave lands on top of the back, and that is going to be a double kill for Crowley. Danker being chased, SLT being ripped asunder by Jinx. The Infinity Edge is so big, he's excited. Senkox is slow, just like Reckless before. He's looking for it. That's going to be
He stole it!
the kill.
He stole it!
Quite the penta. We're in Sweden, but it's not a pentakill yet.
He stole it, Nemesis stole. Okay, he was trying to protect Crowny right there. As Danka pinned him on the wall to not get the penta. But Nemesis, shame on you. You know what? You have to either get the penta or die trying, man. You can't protect him. That's how I don't make the rules.
I can't wait for the comms, is what I'm trying to say. But that will be Baron. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It all started with a cow chase.
It did start with a cow chase. I mean, credit to Tori for just staying alive for so long and giving Verdant potentially an angle.
He walked the ramp.
It's all about the ramp walk. And I mean, Devon just doesn't really have an opportunity to get damage out. The shockwave is actually quite big, but, you know, once BAUS is on top of him, it's very, very difficult to make things happen. And once the dive comes through again, you know, there is just such limited damage options for both these sides. If an AD carry dies, it just feels like the fight is almost practically over.
I think what Nemesis did there by accident was he was trying to save Crowny from
Yeah,
Zeka.
but
It was
either get the penta or die trying. That's it.
I think they're playing a win, Georgia. If I'm honest.
They're winning anyway. Look at them.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely smashing it. Gold lead, 2,600 between the ADCs. Devon just hasn't been able to have impact this entire series, unfortunately, and they keep putting attention into SLT, and he's doing nothing with these leads. He was 3-0, now he's 3-2.
I have to say that everyone's playing in such a flashy way from LR that BAUS has gone very much under the radar. The reason Devon can't play the game is because of BAUS.
Yeah.
When this bear gets on top of you, with Spirit Visage, with Rockabell, he has access onto you. You don't have flash, you have to deal with him, and you can't kill him yet.
And earlier, you guys were talking about the best way to beat LR is kill Crowny. Look at his fourth item, Guardian Angel. He is going to be even harder to shut down. He'll come back, his team will gather around him. And I really worry if Verdant are going to have any way to fight this out.
Double lane push now with Baron. Of course, you put BAUS over in the mid lane, Reckless on the in-between to hop around each and every one of them. Wave coming through that mid lane as Elara pushing down ball. This is completely uncontested. If Verdant step up, they just die.
It's way too difficult. They're going to get this mid lane tower once the wave comes in. BAUS chaperoning it. SLT is trying to hold, but it might get him or someone else in trouble. Crowny's out of the fight.
Numbers advantage is pretty big. They're going to try and find the damage onto Reckless, but he is so tanky, and SLT getting melted away. There goes the tower. Inhibitor will be quick to follow here. LR just dotting the I's, crossing the T's here in this game number 2. Nemesis trying to see if a taunt can come through. Senkuk's heavily chunked out. I don't think LR can end, though. I think they're going to have to back off.
There was no wave for the time being. There is one now.
There's two now.
They're thinking about it. I mean, supers are still another 30 plus extra. Deep TP from Tori.
That's a 4v5 for now.
He is not going to be able to join this play.
It's a long walk.
Can they look for it, Tori? I mean, if this flank works out, this is the most bombastic thing I've ever seen. He's looking for Crowny, delivers him to SLT on the back. Mum gets called in. Crowny, he's holding his life. The barrier, the shields are too damn much. As LR just stacking up the damage here onto the members of Verdant. SLT holds his life for now. The taunt from Nemesis isn't enough, but that's going to be the end of BAUS. Verdant, they are not done yet.
That's a very big deal. That's a 50-second death timer with Elder spawning in 20 seconds time.
Absolutely, and Crowny had to burn every single summoner he has. The only thing that's available to him is this Guardian Angel. Devon, every single summoner up. This is a chance for Verdant to hit back.
It's now or never. 5 seconds.
That's to get into the jungle first.
Oh, that's going to be the lockdown onto Danky. Flashes away. They still haven't burnt Crowny's GA. With all of that they did, nothing came of it. Hold on, Nemesis. Getting a little bit of something thrown into him, but SLT on the Renekton just isn't sinking the damage in.
I don't mean to pressure anyone, but there's 10 seconds on this Volibear to respawn. It's going to be dead even again.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very big deal. Devon is still chunked out.
He's going bot lane to push out that wave. The Elder's going down. Verdant's trying to fight on the top side, but Smolder's not there.
BAUS
He
is here.
stops the wave, TP through BAUS.
BAUS is making his way in. Danker's half HP. Same with the Elder Dragon. He's going to have to be one hell of a shockwave from Senkuk's. It lands onto 2 on the back for Velia. Give big ultimate from the backside. Devon's trying to put some damage out onto Reckless, but he is caught by the flag and the drag. Velia going incredibly low. So is Danker. This fight is all LR. A triple kill to BAUS. Make that a quadra.
The second BAUS steps up on this Volibear, the fight is over. There's not a single member from Verdant to go up against him, and there's not a single member from Verdant to stop push.
LR push it to match point. 31 minutes on the clock. This was domination.
They are